trending on X as #1 story, top story, all over the place. And it's a story between Skip Bayless and some of the stuff. This is Fox Sports, right, Rob? If I'm not mistaken, it's what's going on over there. So apparently, Skip Bayless offered a Fox Sports 1, FS1 hairstylist $1.5 million to have sex with him. Okay. I mean, that's a lot of money. Okay. $1.5 million to have sex with him. Rob, if you want to pull up is this the story right there? Yeah. So he is a former 73-year-old host of Undisputed at the center of a bombshell 42-page lawsuit. Rob, if you want to go a little bit lower for me to read it. Okay. A 42-page lawsuit filed by former hairstylist Nushin Faraji, which is probably Persian, of offering her $1.5 million to have sex with him, claiming he could change her life. What a way to die.
Wow.
Faraji alleges Bayless made repeated advances, including lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breasts, and accused her of sleeping with co-hosts Shannon Sharpe. In one exchange, when Faraj rebuffed him by referencing his wife, Bayless reportedly replied, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 or 4 wives?" Okay, so that's
He said she's
okay.
I mean, it's kind of
the lawsuit also implicates Charlie Dixon, Fox Sports EVP of content, whom Faraji accused of grabbing her buttocks at a birthday party, and mentions Fox host Joy Taylor, who allegedly responded, "Get over it," when Faraji confided in her about Dixon's behavior. Faraji claims she faced a misogynistic, racist, and ableist workplace where abuse was tolerated, and says her complaints to Human Resources were ignored. Okay? So that's that. Now, Stephen A. Smith responds to it. Rob, do you have the shorter version of the response?
I cut it down. It's a little bit shorter.
Okay, go for it. Stephen A. finally responds to it. Stephen A. and Skip had a show together for many years. One of the points that he makes, which is kind of funny, and about the $1.5 million, here's what Stephen A. had to say about this.
I don't know what happened. But just like I said, I've known Jay-Z for 25 years. I can't imagine that. I've known Skip for just as long. I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it. Especially when they brought up the $1.5 million. The Skip Bayless I know has a hard time giving away $15. He's one of the cheapest people I know.
Cheapest?
That's just me. But that doesn't mean that I have any inside knowledge about any of this. I don't, and I'm not going to get involved. I think it's incredibly dicey and irresponsible for people who don't know to act like they do know. But in the same breath, I also feel it's important that if you know people, or you think you know people, and you've had a long-standing relationship with those people, that it's not a crime for you to say the person that I know, the person that I've been around, the person that I worked with in his case, for 4 straight years, from 2012 to 2016, doing First Take every weekday morning at 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The person that I knew since our days at Fox Sports when we would appear on Jim Rome's show, okay, The Last Word and stuff like that, and we were in the same Fox building off of Pico Boulevard and Avenue of the Stars. The person that I've seen that really, really trusts almost no one and doesn't expose himself to anybody, eating the same breakfast and lunch every day. His vice is a Diet Mountain Dew, and he doesn't socialize with people. That's the guy I know. So imagining him being in this kind of position is shocking, to say the least.
Now, you got to see. This is Shannon Sharpe says, "Don't mention my name." Why are they mentioning my name? Don't get my name involved in this. I don't want to have anything to do with this. It was 30 seconds on how much Shannon Sharpe responded to it. And then Jason Whitlock, who actually had a very good take. And Jason Whitlock and I don't know if we're going to sit there and say we're going to be breaking bread next week. But Jason Whitlock, I actually thought, had a very good take. He says when he was at Fox Sports 1, they wanted him. Did you see this take or no?
No.
He said, actually pull it up, Rob. I think it's funny to hear what he says. If you can find the shortest version of it, he says, they try to put me with her. So we did a show together, and afterwards I said, I don't like it. I don't think it went well. He says, I would much rather have somebody that's older, that's been around, that nothing will happen, than you give me a 25-year-old girl.
Oh, with big breasts and like light brown and okay, I got you.
He says, I know I'm eventually going to be tempted to do something. Don't put me in a situation like that. He said that, right? And then Marcellus Wiley responds back, and Marcellus Wiley says, I've never heard of rumors about Charlie Dixon and Joy Taylor, because Joy Taylor is another girl that's involved in this whole thing. Joy Taylor, who used to be married to a guy, and her husband divorced her because he found out.
Down here in Miami, Joy Taylor, is that Jason Taylor's sister?
Yes, Joy Taylor, who was married.
I think she was married to Zach Thomas, wasn't she? Oh, no, that's sorry.
No, it's somebody else you're thinking about. Zach Randolph, you're thinking. Joy Taylor used to be married, and then apparently the main EVP, who is Charlie Dixon, if you type in Charlie Dixon, they had a relationship together. Apparently, her husband found that, so her husband left her. And then she used to date also a guy named Earl Watson from the NBA. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, the point guard,
so,
UCLA.
Yeah, and her and this other guy had a relationship together. This other guy that had a show, what's his name?
She was married to a baseball player.
Emmanuel Acho. How do you say his name, Adam? The top right. Can you go to Daily Mail? Emmanuel
Acho.
Yeah. So, Marcellus Wiley said, I heard about Emmanuel Acho and Joy linking up together, but he never heard about Dixon. There's a bunch of drama going on right now over there with Fox Sports 1. It's interesting. It's entertaining. Adam, what do you know about, you're a guy that's NBA, diehard LeBron fan. What do you say about something like this?
Isaiah Thomas, you know that. Look, let's state with what we know for sure and then what is just speculation. Skip Bayless worked with Stephen A. Smith for how long? They had a great show. Yes. First Take, Stephen A. Smith, beloved, credible source right there. Number 2, Skip Bayless, not exactly the most beloved person. He's actually like a thorn in everybody's side.
He's a Cowboy fan, so.
Okay, that's what happens. But allegedly, to offer to pay someone $1.5 million.
Can you pull up the girl's picture, Rob, if you have it?
Yeah, I mean, she better be the best looking girl in the history
when you guys
of
said
the
Joy
world.
Taylor, I Googled Joy Taylor and then her body.
But that's not.
I know that's a different girl.
Convincing.
But I'm just saying she's involved. Her body's ridiculous. I'm just gonna say that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, anyway,
What do you say?
okay, listen. Here,
I saw a picture, by the way, which was kind of funny. So they said something about, and you have to verify if this is real or not, Rob.
Is that her?
That's the hairstyle. That's the hairstylist, right?
Okay,
right
come
there.
on. I mean,
she's okay.
Maybe that's $500. Anyway, the point is this.
Oh
my gosh,
Adam's got that experience. But Lord, continue telling us.
Listen, when you have abundance,
we don't know the rates.
When you have abundance, you don't got to pay. But the point is this:
you're a walking stock market.
Listen, I don't think anybody doesn't know this. If you're going to pay for anything like this, these are $1,000 transactions. To pay $1.5 million, this is a settlement.
Yeah.
For whatever alleged fraud or whatever sexual misconduct you did, to offer to pay $1.5 million, in my opinion, humble opinion, that's a literal joke. All right, I'll give you this. And then she turns around and does this. Look at this lady. How old is this lady? Find out her age, please. The point is this. Skip Bayless, if he actually wanted to get and have to pay for something, if this is something that he was so desperate that he needed to do, a couple $1,000 to do the trick. $1.5 million? What are we talking about right now? We learned with the E. Jean Carroll with Trump thing, how much he ended up having to pay her?
Millions. It just got.
And he didn't even touch the woman. It was all rape fantasy, wasn't it? So on one hand, there's believe all women. I get it. And then the other hand, there's women who lie. Down in Miami, we've talked about this. These Alexander brothers, these stories are starting to come out. People are coming out of the woodworks. Tom, don't say anything. Thank you. Yeah, I mean it, Tom.
Don't touch your phone.
These stories are starting to surface. 1, 2, 5, 10, 20, 50 stories. What's going on? How many stories have been out there about Skip Bayless? How long has he been in the news and the media? 40 years is the first story in 40 years?
Yeah, I mean, look.
So I'm hesitant to believe this.
Yeah, so what do you think, Vinny, when you hear a story like this?
I just think, I mean, I don't know. The saddest thing about those situations, and apparently, allegedly, was a Shannon Sharpe thing. Something was mentioned about the Shannon Sharpe. He did something, but I'll remember. But the point is, the worst thing about this entire situation is any girl that's been around or just been around you by yourself can say something like this. Let's say it's not true. There's zero credibility. She felt awkward because he hugged her one time. She's still going to get money. Like at the end of the day, she's gonna get something because he's gonna probably settle, so they don't have to drag this out in court. So she's gonna win. At the end of the day, she's gonna win, and his name for the rest of his life, you're gonna Google Skip Bayless. This is gonna pop up, and for the next couple of years, because Skip Bayless isn't in the news. When's the last time you heard of Skip Bayless? I don't. It doesn't have that much credibility. But
Tom, your thoughts?
So, what's really interesting here is that I don't know Skip. I don't know anything about this. I just sit back as a casual observer. And there was a book that broke in 2000, I think I know, because it was right after Y2K. I think it was called ESPN, the Unofficial History, Uncensored History or something. But this book, and I want to say the guy, I don't remember the guy's name, but all of this stuff was in there about, there it is, Uncensored History, Michael Freeman. There was stuff in here about Chris Berman. There was stuff in here about Mike Tirico. He published a document in here where Mike Tirico got suspended for 3 months because not one, not two, but 3 interns had accused Mike Tirico of forcing himself on them. And so it just shows that, in certain parts of entertainment, and sports broadcasting has been one of them, things happen and people... There's almost like a culture of hookup or something, because it's not one thing. I mean, this was the whole history of ESPN. There's a lot of guys really upset about this. There were guys that were married that were like, they didn't want their wives knowing things about what the stuff was going on because they had nothing to do with it. There was one, who's the ESPN anchor was like an expert on hockey, but he actually drowned in his own pool. It was truly an accidental death. But anyway, his wife was very upset that all the stuff was going on, and he was known as a guy who was very clean. Man, when we're done shooting, thank you, go home. He was not a party or anything like that. But the whole thing around sports, there always seems to be this, I don't want to call it this kind of a boys will be boys and things going on and things with them, in broadcasting. By the way, Hollywood's got its own problems, but in sports broadcasting, dating back. And, Bayless was at ESPN during a time where they had this ombudsman and they had done a bunch of things that they were trying to lock it down, because Bayless left ESPN when First Take. He said it on there, right? Stephen A. 2016. And so I look at it and say, these things have been reported a lot, and it's easy to say that. And then you have a bunch of people, including Stephen A., saying, this doesn't feel like Skip. This doesn't feel like Skip. And when there's a lot of these things going on, it seems pretty easy to be tempted as a person providing services, hairstylist, maybe makes what she makes, and you want to go grab the bag. And on one hand, and on the other hand, so on one hand you say, gosh, is this another woman doing that? And then the other side you say, gosh, there's another guy that kind of slipped and fell. Because there's just been a lot of this that's gone on, unfortunately, with sports networks, sports broadcasting, and, ESPN has had 3 nuclear events in 25 years on it.
Let me ask you a question. So this person writes a lawsuit like this, $1.5 million, claiming that Skip offered her $1.5 million, okay, which I don't know who in the right mind believes that, okay? Who in the right mind believes that, okay? I don't know who would believe that for $1.5 million. I like
his suspicion of settlement versus transaction.
Yeah, and it's not like this is a person who has that kind of money. What's Skip Bayless's net worth?
I googled it. It's around $20 million.
Okay, so Skip
You're
Bayless,
saying he's gonna give 10% of his net worth, 5% of his net worth for a one-time gimme for a hairdresser.
Let's say he's $17 million. You think he's gonna give 10%? And by the way, $17 million means that doesn't mean you're sitting on $17 million cash. That could mean you're only sitting on $2 million of cash, equity in a property, da-da-da-da-da. So it's not like you have access to that kind of cash.
Agent, taxes, lifestyle,
yes,
net.
Exactly. Exactly. So for you to hear, but the point is this, how quickly a story like this spreads for it to do what it's doing, that's the part of it, okay? How quickly a story like this spreads. And what does it do Skip's reputation? I don't know. But in the back of your mind, you're kind of like, this guy's, I remember early on in insurance, when we were small, nobody was bothering us. Everybody was very nice to us. And they're like, oh, we believe in you. Oh, it's so great. You have such a big vision. You go do your thing, you big vision guy. And then all of a sudden, we get 1,000 agents, 2,000 agents, 5,000 agents. Then we put an event together like, oh, these guys are growing. Then a story comes out about the commission we're paying. I've had a lot of weird rumors. This was the favorite one of all time. You know what the rumor was?
No.
Do you remember this one?
About where you're from?
Yeah, go ahead. Say.
Yeah. Patrick is actually secretly over here because he has a lot of oil money.
They started spreading rumors. The reason why Pat can afford to pay high commissions is because he has money, oil well. And you know what I said? I said, it's true.
Yeah.
I said, run with it, buddy. Yes,
So
we do have
funny.
that kind of money.
It's an he's a cousin to an OPEC sheik,
can
and
you
they're
imagine?
laundering laundering OPEC money.
Yeah, well, the
that's so
truth is,
funny.
Pat's got oil money, and I said, listen,
We
it's
get
the truth.
A-Rats
That's why
money.
we
Be
pay the
honest.
kind of commission
Yeah.
that we pay. No, but the reality is, some rumors stick, and then from there, Tom said something the other day. Tom said, look, when you get to a certain level, you almost can't get to this level without the targeting. Watch this. You ready? How did Bill O'Reilly's career end?
He was
Okay.
racist.
Yeah. How did the
Wait, an assistant claimed sexual harassment.
There you go.
Roger
And he was
Ailes.
racist.
How did Rush Limbaugh? What was the criticism he got? Right, racist. Are you kidding me? White nationalist,
Privately racist.
They didn't let
because
him buy
he's
the Rams.
out of control, addicted
Yeah.
to OxyContin,
Right.
says all these crazy
That's
things.
right. So Glenn Beck, how did he end up? You got all these other. Every one of these guys you go through, there's a story at the end. What happened with Kobe? There was a story at the end. What happened with Michael? Gambling father. What happened? Every Tiger, every one of now. Here's the other part as well. The other part of it is some of the stories are going to be like, well, Pat, some of that story is true. Yeah, you know what it's called? Person walks on water. There's criminal activities that you should be held accountable to it. Then there's rumors. You just have to be very, very careful nowadays. If you do it, the crime you're about to commit, just assume you're doing it with everybody seeing it. But minimize. In the Army, they used to say, never be in the barracks by yourself with another soldier. Never do it. It's the first thing they taught us in MEPS. MEPS is like when
you sign up and take the test
when
and
you're
the
going
physical
through the
to
whole
get in.
thing, you're getting the 11 shots. Never be in your barracks by yourself with another soldier.
With
If-
another female soldier.
Another female soldier. Never
Ever.
do it. Never do it, because if that door closes, whatever story they tell,
She's
they
in-
have to believe her.
Yep.
Okay, never. Another rule: any girl that you're gonna go link up with, always ID them before. I'm like, you're kidding me? No, you have to. They would break these things down with soldiers in the Army. Just say, look, just follow these guidelines, and then one by one, you would see guys that got in trouble and they're out. And so you just have to be very, very careful. Now, by the way, you know what this hurts? You know what this actually hurts? Guess who this hurts?
The average guy.
You know what Marcellus Wiley said? He says the most dangerous. He says, I've been in this business. And by the way, Marcellus Wiley was a great athlete. He played for the San Diego Chargers,
Yeah,
I believe,
D-end, I
and the
wanna say.
Cowboys, and a couple other guys. He played. He was actually very good.
The end.
Yeah,
Athlete.
a stud of a guy himself, right? Marcellus Wiley. So he said the worst place when you work for these networks, you know what he said? The makeup room.
Wow.
He
Really?
said it is the worst room to be in, the most dangerous room to be in, where the worst things happen.
Why is that?
He says because that's where there's a makeup girl sitting there. You're the famous guy. You start talking to them. There's some kind of a connection. There's some kind of an affinity. There's stuff that could
There might
happen.
be dressings, and there might
you
be changing
you
clothes
have
in
to
there.
be very careful in those rooms.
But also in some
so-
of these sports rooms, look, I remember when Erin Andrews was the hottest thing on TV, and looking back at it, she's somewhat smart 7. But now you have these, like Molly Karam is gorgeous. She's amazing. I think she does first.
She should
first
be
take-
married to.
She used to be married to Jalen Rose.
Yep.
You have my girl that I straight up have a crush on if she sees this. Michaela Andrews, is that her name? NBA, gorgeous girl, black girl. Sometimes I'll go that way. You never know, guys. Michaela, but she's sitting there with Giannis. She's sitting there with the best of the best. I mean, so the people that they're putting on TV, I'm saying these sports reporters are absolutely gorgeous. What do you expect to happen? Just genuine question. What do you expect to happen when you have the best athletes in the world and then you put them in with the hottest girls on TV? What's going to happen?
So if
They're obviously
you
going to hook up.
ran a team, what you would do is you would hire the ugliest girls as cheerleaders to make sure your players are safe.
This girl, Malika Andrews.
Did you hear what his strategy is,
Yeah,
Vinny?
ugly cheerleaders.
Can you imagine?
Yeah,
you
the
play
cheerleaders.
For, let's go, Adam. You play for
I mean,
the
look,
Lauderdale Ducks.
you know what
ran
happened?
by Adam Sosnick. Here's our cheerleaders.
You know what happened to Miami Heat? Eric
But guess
Spoelstra?
what? There will never be
Pull this
sexual
up.
harassment.
Ever. Like, yo,
That's
you
a
think I
strategy.
slept with that one? Yeah.
Listen, you heard what happened to Eric Spoelstra, Miami Heat
No.
head coach? All right, married a cheerleader, Nikki. She's out there, nice girl, whatever.
Hi, Nikki.
Here she is. Ends up marrying her. Okay, turns out that she wasn't exactly the best wife. And now she's out there, and I see her on dating apps. Good for you, honey. But the point is, you have to do your vetting a little bit better. You're marrying a cheerleader. The point is, you have successful guys and hot chicks, and you put them in an enclosed space. Whether it's a dressing room, whether it's on TV, behind a desk, whether it's in the locker room. What do you think is going to happen? Now, as a guy, you just need to be appropriate and not be a dirtbag. And then as a woman, you need to basically understand that this is the world that you're coming in. Have you ever seen the situation where a girl goes in the locker room and literally there's naked football players showering?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, I can't believe what I saw. Why are you in the locker room, honey? What are you doing in there? Anyway. It's a tough situation here, but the bottom line is
experience you had in the past. Tom, go ahead.
get out of
I
here.
play college football, guys.
Well, no, I mean,
we had a deep, profound respect for the third string quarterback because he couldn't throw a ball to save his life. But when you ever heard of Arnold Palmer? Listen, Arnold Palmer.
Tom, go ahead, Tom.
No, I can't believe I've never heard anything negative on Erin Andrews, and you just throw shade at her. Oh, a smart
Listen,
seven.
now's not the time to start
She's married
defending
to a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. Now, he may have been a center, not a defenseman, but he could still check you into next Tuesday, dude.
Yeah. Not forget, she was
Jarrett Stoll.
But FYI, you
No,
remember,
I'm not worried about it. The point is this: 20 years ago, she was the hottest thing on TV.
Yeah.
These days, you wouldn't even look twice at her because that's how hot the new girls are.
Wait, but you want to talk about perversion and
I've
men?
always found her to be a really
She's
smart sideline
Yeah,
commentator.
you might want to keep quiet there,
hold
Tom.
on. No, hold on. Not only gorgeous.
All right?
and
Talking about the horizontal mambo, Tommy. Number 5.
You want to talk about perversion, though? You guys remember she got a $55 million lawsuit for Marriott because some guy
was peeping in the hole,
peeping
yeah.
Tom in her thing.
Peeping what?
And
Peeping
filmed.
Tom.
and filmed it.
She got a $55 million lawsuit against Michael David Barrett and the National Marriott at
number 5,
Vanderbilt
Tom.
University because he hacked her thing and she was naked and he recorded it. You didn't hear about that?
No.
Yep, $55
Yes.
million.
We had a guy that used to work here that he was in love with every week.
Gorgeous.
Where we would do booking meeting. The number one person he would recommend,
Erin Andrews?
Erin Andrews. I'm like, dude, I don't know Erin Andrews. And he says, are you kidding me? She's the hottest thing. I'm like, dude, it's fine.
I mean,
I
she's
said,
beautiful.
why don't
Years
you
ago, she
start a
was.
podcast? You go interview her.
I love her.
But it is what it is. Our merch team got a lot of requests of people saying, can we get some of these stickers and decals that you guys got so we can also put it on our iPads and different things? So they went to work and they got Zoom. Can you zoom in, Rob, into those stickers right there?
Decals.
So the decals, you got the Valuetainment logo, you got the allegedly, you got Only the Paranoid Survive, you got Future Looks Bright, you got the BizDoc, Words Talk, Number Scream, you got the PBD Podcast, Angry Patriot. Even Saucecast made it, an Unusual Suspect made it with the stickers. So how do you get it?
Nice.
Today, new hats that have been, some of the hats that are on the BOGO list now, you buy one, you get one free. These hats that we have, the ones that are on this list, Rob, if you can go down the black, the white, we added a few new ones to it as well. Any of these, you order one, you'll get one for free. And first 100, I believe it is, who place the order of buy one, get one free, you will get one of those stickers. Add it to your, order as well. Go to vtmerch.com, order Future Looks Bright. Last year, we had over 120,000 individuals that bought Future Looks Bright gear. 120,000 pieces that were sold last year. What's interesting is just 3 years ago, I believe, the number was 600. And last year went to 120,000. We wanted 1 million people wearing the Future Looks Bright gear. Nowadays, when we go all over the place, we're seeing people, they're sending a bunch of different pictures. Kids reading Academy books, kids having the gear on. Ladies now wearing it. My wife finally getting some merch for the ladies as well out there. But place one of the orders, buy one, get one free. Get the stickers on your way, and then post them, laptops, iPads, whatever else you want to put it on. If you enjoyed this video, you want to watch more videos like this, click here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click here.